Hey everybody, welcome back to City Skylines, the city of Fremont. This is now episode 12, I believe, of this series. I can't even keep track of what episode I'm on. But yeah, this is now episode 12, and I'm just going to put it out right here, right now, that the, I guess, progress that is seen in this particular video is not really seen at all, to say. It's mostly just me putting down this intersection, not gonna lie. And I mean, I decorate it with decals and props and like blah blah asphalt and whatnot to make it look better, but most of the footage that came from this build that I guess would be seen in the closing cinematics, there's not really any of it pretty much in this episode. Most of that footage was either not recorded due to just it mainly came out of me, you know, how do I phrase this? The footage that should have been recorded, I wasn't planning on even recording at the time, if that makes any sense. So basically, instead of me recording the build itself wasn't even like planned. I kind of did it on my own time, and I thought, hey, this looks pretty nice. Oh, but I've already built it, and I wasn't recording. I'm not gonna, you know, destroy it just to build it again. That's kind of silly. And I guess that kind of stemmed from the whole lot of problems that came out of actually constructing this. Let me just say, this was an absolute nightmare to get right, because I wasn't happy with how the houses were looking, and I went to the asset editor and I had to edit assets, but then sometimes the assets didn't edit properly, and I have to quit the game and load it back up, and the game takes forever to quit and then forever to load back up, and it was just so time consuming and very frustrating. But I finally got it to a point where I'm happy with how the houses looked. So I added a bunch of props, added driveways and whatnot, which the houses didn't have previously, and if they did, I just didn't like them. But now it's to a point where I'm happy. It fits the theme that I'm going for, and I've mixed some lower residential with higher residential, so it's not, you know, it's more realistic based on, you know, what I was trying to go for in this build. So yeah, I guess getting that out of the way. Again, there's not really like a whole lot to talk about. So in all honesty, I'm going to actually cut the commentary short on this particular episode because, again, I'm kind of beating a dead horse here. There's not a whole lot to talk about, unless you want to just see me plop lines down on roads and narrate that. But I guess I could talk about what's in the future for this series. So, in the next episode, I'm planning on getting some transport lines fixed. There is no public transport in this city, and that causes some traffic issues, and I would like to alleviate that. So next episode, probably going to be putting in a bus terminal, getting that all sorted out. Probably going to be expanding the rail network some more because there's some problems with my industry. They're complaining that they don't have enough raw materials, despite the numerous amounts of freight trains and whatnot that I see happening. But I'll try and get that fixed in the next episode, and I'll make sure to properly record it instead of just having, you know, zero footage and then trying to make do with what I have. So I apologize for that. Then again, when am I not apologizing in one of my videos? Oh man. But yeah, so next episode, probably going to be developing a public transport system, build a bus terminal, decorate it and whatnot, get that recorded for episode 13. But right now, I guess some of you probably don't even know what this episode is really based on. It's just neighborhoods, honestly. And like I said before, there's no footage of me creating those neighborhoods. But there's some nice cinematics at the end. I put a lot of time into this. This was like, as simple as the build is, it took weeks to accomplish. Because, as I said not too long ago, I had to go into the asset editor, and that itself took tons of time. But it's all good now, and I'm happy with how it turned out, and hopefully you guys will like it too. But I guess I could talk about what's happening on screen right now before I go away for the rest of this video, which is quite short on itself. But anyhow, what is happening right now is when I put these one-way roads with that avenue with the median, of course the median doesn't continue all the way to the end, so I decided to fix that by getting some ploppable curbs, I believe, by Ronix, that part of the ploppable asphalt mod, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I filled it in with these concrete curbs, and I didn't like the way that it was just concrete on its own, so I also went and downloaded the ploppable grass and whatnot. So with the grass, which you'll see me do in just a short while, right now I'm just getting the curbs to a proper elevation so they don't look too funky and glitchy and whatnot. So once I get that cleaned up, I get out the grass decal, and it matches the theme, which is always great to have. And I basically just fill in that concrete median with it, and then put some trees down on it too, so it looks, you know, like the actual median continued all the way to the edge instead of just stopping abruptly. So yeah, that'll be coming up in a minute, and right now I'm just putting down some more decals and whatnot to make this look alright. Spent a lot of time putting down these decals to make sure that you know, that the curves on them are perfect and that the spacing between both sides is nice. What I would like is to get some roads and whatnot that don't have these parking on the side. I'm sure I touched on this previously in another video, but this is an American city. This game was made by a European company, and Europeans like to be efficient and put, you know, parking on every roadway. In America, we don't do that. So this avenue should not have any parking along it because reasons. But ironically, the 4-lane one-way road should have some parking on it, as it is in the city of Greensboro that I'm modeling this off of. The 4-lane one-way roads do have side parking on them, but I mean, you can't win everything. But yeah, there's not a whole lot left to talk about. I already touched on a few topics here and there, so I am going to cut my commentary right now, but I'll leave you guys with some nice music and of course the closing cinematics, which there's not really a whole lot of, but it works. But I'd like to say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next part of this series, part 13, and that's pretty much all. So thank you so much for watching. Take care.